Meghan back on the front pages this morning as she launches an online shop for fans to buy her fashion favourites. Well, with me now, journalist Bryony Gordon, who has interviewed Meghan, alongside ITV News UK editor Paul Brand. And it's no surprise, she said she was going to do it, didn't she? And now it's all happening.
Yeah, well, she had the TIG before she met Harry, which was a lifestyle blog similar to what she has now. So the items that she's put up for sale in the Sussex shop, shop.
That is hard to say. That is not a good title.
To be fair, she hasn't called it the Sussex shop. We have, as the press. So there are the Royal Stud Earrings by Ariel Gordon. They will cost you about £280. There's a Maya Brenner Happiness Retreat citrine stone necklace for £383. But there are some more affordable items, including a Uniqlo trench coat for £99.90 and a co-ord set from Gap with the top and trousers now reduced to £27 each.
Well, that's OK then. And do you not think it'll fly? It will fly. Because when she wears something, people do buy it, especially in America.
And also give the people what they want. You know, if you have a profile on social media now, you are bombarded with questions. Where did you get your earrings from? Where did you get your sunglasses from? And it's all really lovely stuff. And I just think she's just curating this lovely lifestyle that I love to look at and watch. And the great thing about it is that, unlike the royal family, you're not being forced to pay for any of the items in the Sussex shop.
You have to decide to yourself.
Exactly.
You don't need to. Paul, what do you think? You're going to be buying presents for anyone that you can think of?
Not the ones at the top of that list. Some of them are pretty expensive, but I think
it's Mother's Day.
It's convenience, though, and I do sort of envy women in a way in terms of the fashion industry, that loads and loads of female influencers will say, this is where I got this from, come and buy it.
Right.
And I get that, you know, it looks like they're monetising it, etc., but actually it's quite helpful. You know, as a man, if I see another man wearing something, chances are they won't post where it's from. And I quite like maybe Prince Harry should start doing it.
That's what you were saying. He should,
Oh, do you think he will? Do you think this could be a way forward?
He will at all.
Here's where I got my generic navy blue suit from, for example, might not be as exciting.
Yeah, but she might do it on his behalf.
Maybe, as ever, should have a men's section.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or do you think she'll do kids, things like that?
I hope so.
She'll do children's stuff? And what about the jams? Because the world is worried about that.
Did I tell you, Lorraine, I got given a jar of the jam.
Have you used it yet?
So I got to tell you, it's a bit shameful. So I went out to Montecito to interview Harry for Spare.
Sure.
Back in January 2023, and they're so lovely. And Meghan gave me a jar of jam as I left. And I left it in the back of the taxi back to LA because I was so jet-lagged and exhausted because I'd come in the day before.
Yeah.
So there is like a taxi driver somewhere in West Hollywood with a batch
that would be going for
jam.
Fortunes it would. And I was desperate to know what it was like. Do you know what? She's also released a trailer for her new podcast. The new podcast is called Confessions of a Female Founder. Let's hear a little clip of that. Now, that could be good. That actually could be good, but the last one wasn't. The last podcast, it was just boring.
And the Netflix show, I'm really sorry, I don't think is particularly fascinating either. But I
Do you mean you don't take pretzels out of their bag and put them into another bag and then wrap them up and then write a wee thing on them?
I don't spend my weekends decanting pretzels. But
when your mum comes over, you do that for your mum.
I just always feel like with Meghan's content, I don't dislike her in the slightest, right? And I know that she's had a lot of horrible trolling, etc., etc. So I'm not trying to be horrible about her. I just find that a lot of her content lacks bite. Like, there's nothing that fascinating about it.
But maybe that's the brand,
That's what's really nice about it, I would argue. You know, we had this conversation before. Like, in a world that is frankly pretty bleak, the front pages, you know, everything. I feel like I'm in constant fear when I open up the news.
Yeah,
I think it's really lovely to have this kind of soft. Again, I said this before, it's like ASMR, you know? It's like it soothes my nervous system, which needs soothing, frankly, when Donald Trump is in charge of the nuclear codes.
That's a fair point.
Well,
that's a very fair point. You're right.
Do you think that's what she did it for, though?
Yes.
I think
or do you think that she actually thinks she's quite interesting?
But also, I do think in this world, like, we have a choice, don't we? We can watch stuff,
100%.
we can not watch stuff.
Of course.
And I think we would all be a lot happier if we spent more time focusing on what we did like rather than what we didn't.
Wise women. Wise women. Wow. I like that. Some unexpected news from George Clooney overnight. He has declared that his days as a romantic lead are over. After box office successes with things like One Fine Day and Up in the Air, he says he's no longer trying to compete with 25-year-old leading men. But is 63 really too old to play a romantic lead? Bryony and Paul are still with me. Now, if it was up to me, I would rather have him than a 25-year-old any day. Thank you very much. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think, but also I think that I think he's still very. We were talking about this.
Look at him.
He's still.
What's he got to worry about?
And he does get, you know, like this is the unfortunate thing. He kind of gets better with age, but.
Men are annoying, aren't they?
But that is annoying because there is not a single woman in Hollywood who is saying at 63, I'm no longer playing a romantic lead, because they're like, yeah, you stopped playing those when you were 31.
This is very true. This is very true.
I wonder whether part of it for him is there's so much pressure now to be hench, isn't there? To go to the gym and be really muscular as a male lead. And actually it gets harder as you get older. The face is great, but it's probably hard to go to the gym, you know, 6 times a week or whatever you need to do in Hollywood when you get to your 60s.
He's busy. He's got children.
I think there's probably a lot of 60-something men watching who would disagree, and who I see in my gym is full of men of a certain age lifting weights now.
But can I say, I don't like that gym-honed body. I like a wee bit of softness in my fella. And I don't mind if he's got a wee belly.
You wouldn't mind if he was George Clooney?
No. But I don't mind that at all, because I always think somebody who's so perfect and all of that, I think, well, you're going to take longer than me to get ready.
You're going to love yourself more than you love me.
And I can't be doing with that. I can't be doing with a fella that takes... I mean, my Steve just throws on clothes any old how and he's ready in 2 minutes. And it's great.
I'm the soft person, and my husband is very hench, and I'm not. And we have what's known as a mixed weight relationship.
Is that a thing?
I think it was during Bridgerton, do you remember?
Oh, yeah.
What was her name?
Oh, God, I can't remember.
Coughlan.
Yeah, the wee gorgeous one. Yeah. I remember. Oh, for goodness sake. So, George is not to retire.
No,
he can do whatever he likes.
What is the need?
There is no need. You know what he's like, though? He says things offhand, and then he makes a joke.
He'll still be there
and
in
then
10 years when he's playing the romantic lead.
Of course he will. Gets better and better. Thank you both very much. Hi there. Thanks so much for watching our YouTube channel. We upload new videos every single day. So click here if you're interested in this video, or head to the homepage for more amazing content.